How does your study and your research differ from just being positive and negative?
Right. So positive and negative can have a lot of different connotations. You know, I can say to you, Pat, you're not getting enough hip extension. Someone might think that is negative. I could also say, hey, Pat, on your next rep, I want you to focus on having more hip extension. Same exact cue, but someone might think it to be more positive. But you and I both know different people respond to different things. So the positive to one is the negative to the other, and vice versa. But ultimately, I think of positive and negative as a combination of word choice and tone. Am I using language that encourages forward progress? We call that positive. You are, you can, you should focus on, versus stop, you shouldn't, you can't. And I think ultimately, is that part of my narrative? Most certainly it is. We talk about in the book at various times how we want to use forward language. So focus on. Even though I know you're not extending your hip, I'm encouraging you to focus on something to make an improvement. I guess ultimately what the book gets into, and we'll talk about this idea of a continuum of cues, but it's how language itself, independent of positive or negative, how it shifts the spotlight of the mind. And how the spotlight of the mind, i.e. what we focus on or our intention, it's the relationship between words, intention, and how intention impacts movement. So I think independent of the positive and negative, this will give the actual anatomy of the language that promotes shifts in performance and learning. And it most certainly will contrast it with the type of language we want to shift away from.